Hi, my name is Lisa Wiggins. I live at 2825 on Run Road in Richmond. I want to say thank you for letting me be here. Not mean to yell. At the last meeting, I requested a few videos and pictures to be added to the meeting minutes. Tonight, I'm only requesting one of those videos be played. In my opinion, I don't know how a person can be a member of this committee and abuse their position of this office as Mr. Kambellos tries to do. Just what has my husband done to you, as you state, this guy is stuck between my toenails, and I am going to stick it to him in every possible way I can. The last thing I do as a trustee, he's in my sights. You wouldn't mind me playing the video?
Before you, I want to comment on that because I don't recall using your husband's name in any video.
You didn't, but
Okay.
at the same time, you're using.
Just so we're clear,
Yes.
just so we're clear. Okay.
Oh, not a problem.
So everything this guy does, we're gonna write it up.
Sure.
So, you know, even if it's minor, I hate to do this because you guys have got more important things to do, but
Well, yeah.
you and I both know who did this, so.
Well, yeah. But the problem's going to be ultimately is a couple things. One would be the law is going to say to not only enter or remain on the land of another, right? So we could say it looks like his, but we can't tell who's driving, so I couldn't go and charge him.
Right.
We'd have to show something that says that he was told that he's not allowed to be. I know you have a sign because I came down here and looked where your camera was, and I looked at the easement lines and everything. Right. We could do an incident report saying that someone drove on the, on the south side of the road through your property to do a U-turn. So you have a sign on this side. You don't have a sign on this side. Not everybody owns both sides of the road. Would be another concern. You also have an easement from the township, and then you have an easement from the county currently that actually goes all the way up here, down, and I guess where they're doing this bridge work, I guess, if you call it that, this culvert work, down and around I can show you on the county site. So those would be some hurdles, even if it was him that, stood on the camera and laughed at your camera or something.
Right.
So
We know that.
Well, yeah. So
we know all that.
Yeah. So we'll definitely take a report. And, yeah.
I knew all that before I even bothered.
Yeah.
But we're going to get it all on record. This guy's, stuck between my toenails.
Well,
So I'm going to stick it to him every possible way I can.
Yeah.
If it's the last thing I do as a township trustee, he's in my sights.
Okay.
So
no problem.
I realize this is a waste of everybody's time.
Well, no,
and I hate to do it.
I'm just trying to manage expectations. So that's
they're set.
Okay.
We get it.
All right.
So it's on record. You guys have the tape or the
it has stills. So just so you know, like I know you sent it as a video. That the things that got forwarded are just it's like 3 different sets of stills. So it shows the vehicle going off the roadway right, and then turning, and then coming back onto the road. So
the one is you have to right click on it the way I did it on my computer and use you probably know more about it than I do, but there's a program with Internet Explorer that you can use to play the tape.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. I should have sent that. But anyway, you can right click on the one that's marked AVI. It's like .avi and choose your player and play it. So if you want to see, if you have any interest in seeing the real deal, you can do that. But anyway, that's fine. So that's good enough. That's all I expected. I didn't expect anything more.
Okay.
Nobody does.
Well, no problem. All right. Well,
okay.
If anything changes, let us know. Obviously a thing that would benefit is if you have a sign on that side.
And I thought about that. I think that's good advice. So, I'm going to do that.
So that way we would have something to stand on that says if you were driving down the road, you would realize that this side and also this side is stating not to enter onto the property.
Agreed. Totally going to do that. That's a great idea. We thought about doing that a while back, but we didn't want to litter the neighborhood with more signs.
Yeah, I know.
Because it looks tacky. That's doing basically like what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, when you're reduced to that, you just have to.
It just gives you a legal standing
you have to do.
to stand on. So.
Yeah, we'll do that. I just didn't have time to do it.
Sure.
This was at 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sleep, so.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right,
no
problem.
Waste your time.
Oh, it's not a problem.
I have a feeling you're gonna have more of it wasted.
Oh well, no,
hate to say that.
It's okay. I mean, we just do what we're allowed to do. So
we know that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
No problem. Have a good one.
So since it's about me, I'm going to tell you what I think I learned from that video. 2 things. I think I need to be a little more of an eloquent speaker. I could use some lessons in eloquence. And number 2, I need to lose some weight. But I want to say a couple of things because you brought up some concerns earlier that I want to respond to. So I said earlier, ma'am, with all due respect, you heard me say it several times, my job is to represent citizens of Pierce Township. Okay. So when the citizens have concerns, my job is to receive them and to share them and to act upon them. That includes all the residents of Pond Run Road, those elsewhere in the township. Give you a couple of examples of the things that I field in terms of questions, concerns, and the like. So I get questions about, these are voicemails, text messages, phone calls, emails, whatever. Horses in the middle of the road, dead coyotes hanging from trees, improper parking, discarded tires that haven't been picked up by township staff, abandoned old school buses that have sat for over a year, neighbors yelling across the street at one another, gotten that call, potholes that haven't been filled, zoning violations, concerns over speed humps, concerns over traffic signals, pools that are too close to the property line, bullet holes through air conditioning units, earth-shaking explosions. So those are just, I'll say a few examples. I could go on, but not to prolong this session. So those are examples of things people tend to call, us about with concerns, and it is our job to represent their concerns. And that is what I have done. That is what I vow to continue to do. Oh, one more thing. I would have been happy to respond to any concerns you had, ma'am, with all respect. But the only communication I've received from you was a letter postmarked the 24th of November, 2023, offering to purchase my home for $700,000. That's the only concern, question, issue that I've received from you. But I'm available to you at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My home phone number is published. My cell phone number is on my business card. My office number is also on my business card and of record. You and anyone else in this township is welcome to contact me with any concern, and I will respond to it. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Come on out, come on down, Bev.
Bev Benzing, 1606 West Concord Road. You know, I've been attending these meetings regularly since last fall. I've listened and absorbed a lot what's been going on. That video is first time I've seen it. I have different comments than you do, besides the two that you made. I'm very concerned. Yes, you did not mention him by name, but obviously you made a 911 call and brought officers in. So there had to be some record of who you thought that person was. Because I believe he said in that tape, I've talked to him, or there's nothing I can go by without any video or anything else, right? And the comments about going after him personally, if that's the last thing to do. That with everything else I've heard for the last about 9 months is disquieting. I'm very concerned and watch my public officials. I hate lawfare. And things seem to have gotten way out of hand, as I've commented before back in January when I spoke to this body. Other than that, I've been watching, I've been doing the research, been looking around. And Mr. Freeman, I'm going to ask you this. I think this needs to be investigated internally. I'm going to ask you to do administrative hearing, whatever you need to do, to look at all the records, the 911 calls, the reports, the body cameras, who made calls to what. I know Chief Broxterman has had a pretty good list that he presented in the past. And investigate this and see if there has been any improprieties. code of conduct violations, ethics? Was there undue pressure put on and interview your employees besides the public records or interdepartmental emails or conversations? What was said, maybe even around the coffee pot, to any of the employees? Do they feel unduly pressured to go after the events and the people on Pond Run? The township has been brought into a civil issue, and I don't like it. Just the smell of the impropriety. I don't like it. Maybe there's nothing here. Maybe there's not, but I'm asking you to investigate and report back to us.
I don't know that we have a mechanism to do that, but let me work with Chief Brocksterman and see if we can come back with a recommendation that works along those lines. Pete, you may not have done anything that crossed the line, but I think even you would say, let's take a look at it.
No problem.
It just doesn't look good.
No problem.
It
I'm an
doesn't
open
look
book.
good.
You're welcome
I
to.
know how you've addressed people here.
Mhm.
This isn't personal, except I'm concerned about civil rights.
You are more than welcome to take a look. It's no problem with it.
I'm asking the legal department and you guys to do it. I understand. Hey, if you want to do it in executive session, that's fine.
Right.
But I think you have a duty to investigate.
Let me take a look at the process and I'll report back with next steps. I'll get with Chief Brocksterman, I'll get with legal counsel, and we'll see how we can proceed.
Okay.
And then take it from there.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Freeman.
Thanks, Ben. Any further discussion? Hearing none. We're at the magical moment of adjournment.
I have a quick
Sorry.
opinion. Sorry, here, I'm sorry. So with this, and I'm just going to give my sort of opinion on it so everybody knows where I stand as sort of as a board member and personally. It kind of relates to me a little bit. I just touch back on the fact that I think it's a little bit of a difference fundamentally in ideology between me and Dr. Kambellos in regards to individualism versus collectivism. And I think collectivism, you look at the means, there's sort of the ends justify the means. And this person doesn't do something that we like, and they don't fall in line with how we particularly see things. And so any way that we can come after them or undercut them or do what we need to get them to stop is okay, because they're doing something on the back end that we don't like. And I fundamentally disagree with that. Sort of like with the pot shop thing and the people that voted, generally speaking, if everybody in the state just, as a municipality agreed to outlaw, pot shops, then essentially you could make them illegal statewide and be completely in a non-coherence with what the people voted. So back to this particular instance, I just find it a little bit concerning as well that, your response to this video is to state all the things that this person is doing that you don't like, when really it should be, you cannot use your position as a trustee to come after somebody by any means necessary in order to get what you want. I mean, that is sort of like, again, an ends justifies the means type of mentality, whereas our country was funded on individual rights, on individual freedoms, on the Bill of Rights, on we the people. And you might not agree with it, but it is up to the law enforcement to kind of administer legal action in regards to somebody breaking the law, or the zoning in regards to somebody breaking zoning laws. But it's not up to us as an elected official to coordinate all these efforts and pinpoint them to come after an individual. I think that is extremely inappropriate. And if this individual is breaking a law police-wise, then Chief Brocksterman, by all means, I'm sure you will not hesitate to do so. You hold them accountable. If they're not, if they're breaking some kind of zoning requirement, Eddie, I'm sure you're going to hold them accountable. For me as a trustee to say, hey guys, let's figure out what we're going to do to this guy because I don't like him, or because he's doing collectively a bunch of stuff that I don't like. That's essentially sort of collectivism, and you're sort of negating or throwing aside the individual rights aspect of things. And I'm not weighing in personally on this specific issue, I don't really have a dog in the fight. But I will always stand on the side of individual rights and individualism. And I think people should be innocent until proven guilty and allowed the opportunity to defend themselves in regards to allegations criminally or zoning wise. And I don't think it's our job as township trustees to, even if they are sticking between our toenails, to come after somebody as a trustee if it's the last thing I do. And that just seems like a very general comment. And it seems honestly very indicative of all the township trustee meetings and rhetoric I've seen leading up to this point, personally.
Your opinion is certainly very.
I would feel remiss and I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't say that.
Well, I hope you can.
So
sleep
there
well.
you go.
Okay. Well, I hope you can sleep well, and your opinion's always appreciated. And what I can tell you is that restate what I said earlier. This is not personal. I'm representing the interests and concerns of my constituents. That's what I've done, and that's what I'll continue to do. Simple as that.
My only problem with that statement is, and again, I want to sleep tonight too, is that comment was very specific. It was not in general. It was not representing other people. It was very specific. And I deal with people all the time too. I've been a trustee for longer than you're the second longest serving, and we deal with people all the time. We deal with the same issues that you do, the speed humps, the zoning, all of that stuff. And I sat right here last night with 3 people talking about a project on 9 Mile Road that I would never go in a dinner party with. But at the same time, I represent them. And so I put that away. And that's something that I've done for my entire career in politics. And, so I get a little bit, worked up about things like that. When you say you're going after somebody, if that's the last thing I do, that is very specific and that is very personal. And that's not where elected officials need to be. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of them are. And that was appalling.
Well, everybody's got their opinion, right? And you're certainly entitled to yours, but I can't, I can't say anything other than what I said earlier. It's not anything, not that it was personal to begin with, but anything like this is not personal on mine. I am going to represent and have represented my constituents, and that's what I will continue to do. Why you feel it's so pointed, like I said, maybe not the most eloquent delivery, but nevertheless, nothing personal on my end. I am representing the people that elected me. That's all.
Fair enough.
So,
all right. With that, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Sorry we took so long.